I'm going to show you how to make an Aso-Oke skirt with a fringe finish at the hem or at the bottom. Let's get started. So we have our Aso-Oke bundle here. This is our Aso-Oke bundle. The total length for this bundle is 480 inches, at least 480 inches. And the width for this is 6 inches. 6 inches. So I am going to be joining the pieces together. So the different pieces together, I'm going to join them. I'm going to show you how to join them. But I want to join in such a way that I am going to get the length of my skirt and the width of my skirt. So I want the length of my skirt to be total of 35 inches. I'm going to remove 2 inches from the 35 inches. The 2 inches is going to be for my waistband. So I want to get 33 inches length, and the width of my skirt would be the largest part of my body, which is my hip. My hip is 42 and a half. I'm going to add 6 inches to that. 6 inches would be 4 inches for sewing allowance and 2 inches for zip allowance. So I'm going to get that'll be 48 and a half. But I'm going to I want to cut out a width of 49 inches or 50 inches. So how I'm going to join this, I'm going to measure 33 inches, 33 inches, 33 inches, cut it. I'm going to measure 33 inches in 9 places. So I'm going to do this 9 times. So I'm going to measure 33 inches, cut it. So maybe probably just fold it this way, fold it till I get the 33, till I get all 9 pieces. And it's those 9 pieces that I'm going to join. I'm going to join the 9 pieces together so we're able to get the width of my skirt and the length of my skirt. I've cut out all my pieces. I have 10 pieces in total because when I was doing my calculation, I forgot to account for the joining. I forgot that we're going to be joining. So I just added one more piece so that after joining, we still have the width that we are looking for. I want my skirt to have, at the bottom, I want my skirt to have fringe. So you can see on the Aso-Oke fabric that this is already fringing, for lack of a better word. This is already fringing. My skirt is going to be 33 inches, like I said, in length, but I want the fringe to be about 7 to 8 inches. So I'm going to measure 7 inches from my hem upwards, and then I'm going to remove all these weavings. I'm going to remove the weaves so that from this place downwards we have fringe. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. I need to do the fringe before we join our pieces together. So I've done the fringe for 9 pieces, and I want to show you how I did that. So I marked 8 inches because I want the fringe to be 8 inches in length. So I marked 8 inches upwards and I made a mark. Then the next thing I'm going to do is take my scissors and cut cut off the side on both sides. The reason being that I'll be able to pull out those weavings easily. So just cut off both sides quickly. Just tiny, not too much. All the way to the line. I'm going to stop at the line there. Do the same thing on the other side. So see the tiny piece, just very, very tiny. You're not cutting too much. Drop my scissors, then next thing is to just pull. So you're going to be pulling the weavings out, and we'll pull all the way till we get to this mark. Just Just keep pulling. Pull all the way to this mark, right? And then it's going to end up looking like this, looking like this. And I'm sure you may be wondering, okay, so once it's unravel, so when I'm done pulling this, pulling it out, I'm going to show you on my machine. I'm just going to run a single straight stitch from this end to this end, following this line. That way it's going to hold the fabric and it's not going to unravel down the line. All right, so this is this is what I was talking about. So I'm just going to put my machine or my needle on the last weave, and that's where I'm going to run the stitch in. So you can't really see the stitch, but once you run that stitch, it's going to help keep the fringe from unraveling further. Okay, so now we're going to join the pieces together. So as you can see, this fabric doesn't have a clearly defined front and back. So, or right side and wrong side. So pick, I'm just going to pick any side and work with that. So I'm going to be joining the pieces by 1/2 inch. So this is our first piece, and then we'll go from there. That's the first piece. And then I'm going to join the others. I've joined on all my pieces together and I pressed it. And I folded it now so that I can put my pattern pieces for us to cut. The pattern piece we're going to be using is what we drafted in our skirt block pencil skirt video. So this is my front and this is my back. See why it's good for you to have your pattern pieces. I don't have to draft this all over again. I already have my pattern piece. Just place it on my fabric and we're good to go. So place it this way. I know that you may be wondering, why does this look like this? It's totally fine. This was the idea. So I'm going to pin and cut like this, stop here. And then from there, from this place downwards will be my fringe, right? I'm going to be lining this skirt. So I'm going to cut the same thing on my lining. The only thing is that I'm going to reduce my lining by like 2-3 inches. So my lining is going to stop around this area. You'll see how I'm going to sew this. I'm done cutting my skirt on my main fabric and on my lining. This is my lining here. So to sew this skirt is very, very easy and straightforward. We don't have that on this skirt, so we're not going to worry about sewing that. What we're going to do now is I'm going to join my side seams together. So my front and back side seams, I'll join it on both sides, and I'll do the same thing on my lining. I'll join the side seams on my lining, and I would hem my lining, and then attach my lining to my skirt. Okay, so this is my back. I'll take one back piece and join it to the side of my front, and my seam allowance is 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to sew 1 inch from the top down to the bottom. I'm done joining my side seams on my lining. The next thing is that I'm going to hem my lining. So I'm going to be using the double fold method. So I'm going to be folding 2 times. I'm going to fold by like this. This is about 1/4 inch. Fold it once more. We're done hemming. Now I'm going to join this to my main fabric. So I'll take my fabric here. This is my right side. This is the right side of my fabric facing me, like this. Then take my lining, place it right side to right side, like this. So what I want to do is that I want to join, this is our zipper extension or our zipper opening. So I'm going to join from there and stop where the lining stops. I'm going to do that on both sides. I'm just going to join by 1/4 of an inch. And by doing this, it means that it's going to eat into our zip allowance. So my zip allowance is not going to be 1 inch anymore. It's going to be 3/4 of an inch. I'm done joining the lining to our main fabric on the zipper allowance. The next thing is that I'm going to flip my lining into my wrong side. Okay. So this is what it looks like. This is our wrong side. This is what it looks like. See where the lining is stopping. So where the lining is stopping, it's not going fully, it's not covering the full length of our skirt. All right. So you need to be pressing up as you sew. You need to press. But I'm not doing that right now, but you should do that. The next thing I want us to do is to attach the waistband. So I've already cut out my waistband. This is my waistband. So I'm going to attach, to flip to the right side. Then I'm going to fold my waistband like this. This is my center back. Then take one, sorry, I'm not folding it, I'll open it actually. I want to sew it in a different way. So I'll take one side, sew it round, attach it to the waistband. So I'm going to be joining by 1/2 an inch sewing allowance. Done attaching. The next thing is to take the waistband like this, and then we want to work flip to the wrong side. So we're going to be folding like this. Can you see? This is the wrong side, this is our waistband, and then I'll fold like this. Then I want the rough edge to face into my waistband. So I'm just laying that down. Ideally, you're meant to iron, but as you can see, I'm not doing that. So please do that. And then I'm going to fold by 1/2 an inch, because that was the allowance we left. 1/2 an inch, lay it like this. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to pin this around. I'm going to pin this around and then pin it around, right? But the next thing that I'm going to do is that to sew it, I don't know if you can see the way I'm holding my thumb here and also on this side, because I'm going to be sewing on the wrong side. Yes, I'm going to sew by like 1/8 of an inch from the edge, like this, all the way around. And I want to ensure that when we flip to the right side, that stitch is catching the waist on the right side. As in, it is sitting down, it is looking like a top stitch on the right side. It's not on the bodies of the skirt, and it's not like one like 1/2 an inch above the waistband. It also has to look like a top stitch on the right side. So trying to do that can be tricky. So as you're folding, as I'm folding it like this, I have to make sure like as I'm folding, the fold is kind of matching the stitch line that I used to sew the first part of the waistband. So that way, when I sew down on this side, it would also look like a top stitch on the right side. I hope you understand what I'm saying. But let me pin and then come back and show you. I'm done pinning, so we're going to start sewing. You see how I navigate this. So like I said, you can you attach sorry you match the fold to the stitch, and as I'm sewing, I'm also feeling the wrong side with my finger to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. So 1/8 of an inch, so that it would also look like a top stitch on the right side. So let's start. Another thing you can do is to flip so you can see. And because of the color of our thread and the color of the material, you cannot really see. You can't see, but I know that I'm still on my waistband. Like my stitch is not on my skirt, it's on my waistband. So we're on track. All right. Let's see. See what it looks like on the right side. Can you see? I can see that it did not catch this side, which is fine. It's totally fine. It's not really visible, so that's fine. But yeah, our waistband is done. We're done attaching our waistband to our skirt. The last thing we're going to do is that we are going to attach our zip. My zip length is going to be 9 inches. So I'm going to measure 9 inches from the top of my waistband down. Mark that, and then I'm going to sew from sew that sew that mark down, and then would attach our zip. So let me mark 9 inches down. So that would be the length of my zipper. So remember, I took in 1/4 when I was sewing my lining. So our allowance is going to be 3/4 now, because I ate into our 1 inch allowance. So I'll be sewing by 3/4, starting from the 9 inch. So let me just mark the 3/4 so you can see. So I'm going to start from the 9 inch and I'm going to sew down. Actually, I'm not sewing down, sorry. I forgot that I wanted to add slit, just an opening so that I can move my legs. So I'm going to mark from the bottom of my skirt here, from this side. I'm just going to mark, let's say, by 8 inches. I think that is going to be okay, but obviously I'm going to do my fitting and see if the 8 inches is too much. And if if it's too much, then I'll just come down. But if it's not enough, I can go up. So I'm going to sew from this 9 inch mark to this mark here by 3/4 of an inch. So now we have our zipper opening. I'm going to flip to the right side. So this is our zipper opening. This is the right side of my zipper facing me. I'm going to put it in. My zipper is long, so I'm going to cut it down. Okay, I don't have a 9 inch zipper, so I'm going to tuck it in. The right side is still facing me. I want to arrange it in a way that it looks like I'm done sewing it. So I'm taking the right side of my zipper and matching it to the right side of my skirt like this, and then I'm going to pin it down. So I want this flap to remain hanging because I'm going to fold it like this when I'm done. So when I'm done sewing my zipper, this is how I'm going to finish it. I'm going to fold it like this and top stitch on both sides. So I'm going to leave that side hanging, pin it, do the same thing on the other side. And remember our sewing, the zip allowance is 3/4 because I ate into the 1/4 when I attached my lining. So just going to pin, and we are going to do our check to make sure that I've arranged this correctly. Okay, so I can see that this correct. I've arranged it correctly because I've made mistakes several times in the past when sewing my zipper. So I have to always make sure that I do this check. All right. Okay, now we can sew. I'm going to start with the left side and then we'll move to the right side. There you go. So I'm done attaching the zipper. Okay, so the last step is I need to finish this part of the zipper. So like I said earlier, you fold it like this over, and then so this is your zipper like this, your zipper extension. So take it, fold it over my waistband, then fold like this. So it looks like this. Then I'll just top stitch. So this is what it looks like. The flap is no longer showing. I'll do the same thing on the other side. But we're done with our skirt. Our skirt is done. Look, it's done. We don't need to do any hemming. This is my slit on the back. I'm going to press my skirt, and I need to do the finishing on this slit here. Well, I'm going to press my skirt all around, but our skirt is good to go.